Hey guys, this is Roshan from the Spinnaker team. This is the official channel for Spinnaker watches where we'll share with you all the latest drops, reviews, and of course anything special that comes through the pipeline. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button for notifications, and of course stay tuned for our next video. Today we're going to go through one of our latest drops, the Hull California Chrono. So let's just jump straight into it. So first off, I've got our Fume Blue, and I'll just walk you guys through a bit of the detailing on these watches and of course how we came to creating this timepiece. Some of you guys may be familiar with our other Hull collection watches. We've got the Hull Diver, we've got the Hull Chronograph, and of course now we've got the Hull California Chronograph, which is a blend of all the different details and mechanisms that are evident across our Hull family. So you may be asking maybe why is it called the Hull California Chronograph? So the key comes in California. Some of you may or may not know, but the California dial itself has been an inspiration from a dial that was actually refurbished back in the 1930s from a refurbishment workshop in California. So back then actually there were Rolexes being refurbished, and this is where this dial came about, where it blends Roman numerals and of course also Arabic numerals at the bottom half. So I'll just show you guys a few more details as we dive in closer. You'll notice that on this colorway we've got a beautiful Fume dial, and you'll see that throughout this timepiece we've got a lot of vintage elements littered through, from case, dial to bracelet as well. So here on the dial, the Fume dial is actually something that was created back around the 1970s, and it really adds a lot of depth, especially when you see the gradient colors coming through from the outside inwards, and of course the brighter colors from inside the middle of the dial going outwards. On the bezel itself, you'll see that we have a tachymeter scale. So this is where we have a little bit more of the modern styling blending with the vintage. Of course, this gives it a little bit more of a sporty edge to the timepiece. Now, powering this timepiece is a VK Meca-Quartz movement. Of course, the Meca-Quartz series under Seiko TMI is highly sought after, very reliable, always dependable as well, and it really gives you that blend between accuracy from a quartz battery powered movement and of course the hand feel of a mechanical movement. And I'll just show you guys really quick how that feels with the snap features on the Meca-Quartz chronograph. And of course, as you can see, these are all screw lock systems on our Spinnaker timepieces, just to ensure there's water resistance when you submerge the watch. Here we go. So you can see the sweep hand, which is always something that people enjoy seeing and of course feeling when you click back on the start and stop. And that flyback is another key feature in Meca-Quartz movements. So I'll go through a few of the other specs with the other colorways. This one particularly is our vintage black. As you can see, there's a PVD black bezel on a solid stainless steel case, complementing of course the cream indexes and the black dial. This is also a textured granular dial. However, there's no Fume as you saw on the vintage styled Fume Blue just earlier. Furthermore, you can see that each index is applied, so this is a high grade lume application as well. Again, everything is Swiss lume on this timepiece from the hands to the Arabic indexes. As you go over to the side, I'll go through some of the other specs where you'll see this is a 15mm thick case. Of course, it's a little bit thicker than some, but that's including the domed glass, which you can see is a double dome effect peeking into the dial. Going over now to our next colorway. Here we have our Oxblood colorway, and this one is one of my favorites because you can really see a nice gradient effect from the red going towards the outside. It goes from red to black, and again we're going with the same complementing colorways on the indexes and hands, with the cream where it really stands out. Again, another tachymeter scale is seen on the bezel, and we've got the iconic hull case to pair it at the bottom. One other feature that we're showing here is vintage Jubilee style bracelets. So all our bracelets are with a solid deployment clasp, and over here you'll see the 5 links are iconic details that stem from the 1940s. So we've littered this watch with as many blends of styles and details as possible, whether it's from the dial, where we have a California styled dial inspired by the 1930s, to the Jubilee bracelet back in the 40s, or even the Fume dial from the 70s. And I'll go through now our last colorway. So this is the all black. Again, this is a really interesting colorway that has grown in popularity over the years. You know, typically people will say that the all black stealth look is not for them, but here I think the team's done a great job really allowing the indexes, hands, and of course details to stand out, where we are using the cream colorway and of course the Swiss loom that will really help let us shine this through at low light situations or at night, of course. And I'll run through again the side details. So we've got a 15mm thick case, it's 42mm case diameter, anti-reflective coating on the dial, on the glass I mean, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, we have a solid deploying clasp. And with this PVD black coating, we haven't cut any corners. Each link is individually plated to ensure there's a consistent plating throughout the timepieces bracelet. I'll run through the colorways once more so you have an idea of the details and the colors on the dial. Again, here we've got the Fume blue. You can see there the lighter colored blue starts to gradually get darker as you move through to the edge of the dial, complemented again with cream Arabic and Roman indexes, and of course on the pencil style hands. Here we have our vintage black 10 ATM VK64 Meca-Quartz movement, and this timepiece is coming in at $285 US, 235 British pounds. And once more, our oxblood colorway. Just sharing with you the details of the granular textured dial. And of course, you can see here there's a beautiful complementing case and bezel combination with a polished case body and of course a circular brush on the bezel. And last but not least, here's our all black with cream complementing colorways against a stealthy black backdrop. Here again you can see there's a polished case body with a circular brush case bezel, and the bracelets are all vertically brushed throughout. Thanks again guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed that video, make sure you hit the like button, and of course subscribe, hit the bell for notifications to get all the latest updates and reviews. Take care till next time.